control of what they do.
Okay, now we're live. All right, so we are, I guess we're live. And I just wanted to make sure everyone, I'm not sure what you're going to be seeing on your screen because I actually, in our Zoom meeting, I have Barbara Price and Debbie Hall. And we are doing exactly the energy work that we talked about yesterday in our Zoom meeting. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and shared the Genius software on my screen. And I have it set up right now. Barb, this is specifically set up for your session. This is your account. When we're working with the group, I'll have a different account set up. And it'll be our group account for all of the people who are working together in our energy group work. But right now, I have it set up so that if you take a look at my cursor here, Barb, you'll see it says 0, and it says record. So I'm going to click on record. I'm going to set you up. You're going to say, my name is Barbara, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. And then at the end, after that third A-E-I-O-U, I want you to talk about what your intention is. Everything about the Genius and frequency and, you know, all of the frequency work that we do, it's always about intention. So I want you to be as specific as you can be about your intention for, let's say, this session on our Fatmeltaway. Since we're going to kind of follow along that line, let's go ahead and set the intention for our Fatmeltaway series for the 10 weeks.
Okay, so do you want me to do the A-E-I-O-U now?
You're going to start with, my name is Barb. Then
Okay,
you're going to
my name is Barb.
Well, I'm going to hit record. So I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'll hit record right here.
Okay.
And you'll see it'll start to waver. These little lines will start to waver, and you just start saying, my name is Barb, A-E-I-O-U, and do it slowly. If you go really super fast, we really want to get your voice resonance. That's how this is working. And I'll continue on and tell everybody as we go what is actually occurring. And I love the fact that we're going to be doing this live as a live session and sharing it with everybody. So I'm just very excited. Okay. I'm going to count down, Barb. 5, 4, wait, make sure my volume is up high on both devices. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Barb, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. The intention I am striving for at this time is to create a disciplined mindset in regards to being satisfied with one serving within a meal and to allow myself to eliminate sugars and carbs in moderation.
All right, now I'm going to be clicking on this button right here, voice harmonics. And it's actually, you'll see it counting down over here, the screen. What it's doing now is taking that voice and putting it into a voice harmonics to actually go through the fast Fourier frequencies. And so that's what you'll see next. Okay. Now, Barb, I don't have a current picture of you. So what I'm going to do is take a snapshot picture now.
Okay.
And I just want you, oops. I didn't mean to click on that. So, okay. So I'm going to take your picture. Perfect. Oh, hang on.
You didn't like that either?
No, it was fine. And now I've plugged in your picture right here.
Okay.
And it's putting it into the fast Fourier fast Fourier algorithms right now, and that's what it's just doing. And so I'm going to click on continue. And now I have an opportunity to put an energetic affirmation in. And I'm ready when you are.
I am fit and thin for my age and able to do anything I desire physically.
Okay, now just to update everybody in the process and what you're all seeing, and always raise your hand if you have questions, because this is your first time that you've done a scan. And so what the system does is, I'm sorry, I get a little bit too close up there there we go. So the system overview kind of gives a prioritization. So what it does, it looks in the field of biofield, mind, and then there's a category called libraries. And
so biofield, mind, and body.
Body and libraries. So
Okay.
Body is right here. And so the other thing we look at when we're doing our energy work, the Genius is so brilliant at looking at that time and space of the energy that we just went through. And so it's identified the areas of let's say, opportunity, of where you have the most imbalances and maybe extremes. So when I look at there's several steps that I take. The first thing is I'm going to grab where your aura is. I should have probably, I don't know if these pop-ups are going to
It's just so cool to be able to do this way.
I know it, isn't it awesome? Okay, you have a beautiful aura. I'm just going to take a picture of it so I get a snapshot of it. So we have in my screen, it doesn't look it as clear as up in here, but when I send you the actual image, you'll see what I'm talking about. But at the very top of the crown and up in this area, it's almost more like a muted color. And so what that really tells me is that all the way around, there are some beautiful colors, and I'll go through what they all mean, but just to save time, because we have a few things that we're going to be covering, I'm not going to go into the in-depths of what these colors actually mean for you. But what I do see as areas where I look at the aura to see where am I going to be working. And what's fascinating for you, Barb, is you're very similar to me when I work on my personal aura or when somebody's working on my aura. And this outer layer, it's like the way outside layer out more into the universal kind of plane, if you will, not necessarily as close to here. But I also see a little bit of stagnation here up in the crown as far as the colors are concerned. What we're going to look for is really looking at clearing this up and just seeing a little bit more vibrational area. Now I see around your throat chakra, I'm going to take a look at that. That's an indication that there's, again, it's kind of more of a, not as a bright color, it's more of a soft muted color. So I just want to see what's going on when I actually look. So that's really the next step that I take a look at. So now I have a good picture of where your aura is. And the next thing I'll look at is your chakra. And so what I see is the brow chakra as an opportunity. And I see, and again, we're talking about an opportunity, meaning that you have, your energy isn't as vast. So there's a disruption, if you will.
Right.
And so what I'm doing is I take the blues, I take the reds, and if we were working, if I was offline in a session, what I'd end up doing here, and I'll just show you what I do. Down here is what we call the main tray, and it's from the main tray that we actually will be pulling those frequencies we talked about in the that I share, so everyone can play them in in their quantum capsule. But when I'm doing an actual session with a client, I would actually do some really quick, just real quick. And I like working in 3, 6, and 15 because that's like a Tesla kind of infinite energy work. And I would click on the quick balance and I would do some quick energy work in different fields. So hang on a second, I want to see where I am.
This is why you'd like to personalize it as opposed to group.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I don't know if you can hear that, so I have to turn my volume down a lot. Having shared the mirror, it's a really big loud noise off of my computer because I'm getting both the resonance from the iPad as well as what's happening with the share of the screen.
I'm not getting a lot of sound, no.
No, it'll be curious to see how, because I've never hit record in a session before, so I'll be curious to see how it sounds. I know when I'm having my work done, I have hired a professional person to do me, and I never hear the sound either.
Yeah, it's very muffled.
But you can see that you can see what is happening here. And all I'm doing right now is just balancing those chakra elements that were out of balance, that there was a disturbance, an energy disturbance.
So when we have this on our personal app, we will be able to hear those frequencies.
Well, you're going to have better than that. This is just an initial balance. This is just something that I'm cleaning up your energy right now in that area, in those areas that there was a disturbance. When I do it live with a client, that's why it's usually a 75-minute session. I'm just showing an example of what I would do offline when I do the energy work for people so that everyone knows who's in the group. These things will be happening if I'm doing it offline.
Okay, so this is just a quick example for them to understand the process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But if we can figure out how to go live to a group, I wouldn't do that live to the group. I would do it post group, because really live to a group, I'm going to pull in the things that resonate the most, and I'm going to be putting them into the main tray as it relates to our purpose, which our purpose is the Fatmeltaway frequencies program, and that is going to be specific. But I just wanted to kind of show you what happens when I do work with client work. And then, like I said, afterward, if I see some things that are opportunities just to kind of clear up for all the people who are in the group because I know something about them, then I would do that post after I share the frequencies with them.
Okay.
Okay, so after taking a look at chakras, the next thing I take a look at, I like to look at where your meridians are. And your meridians, hold on one second, I don't have 2 sheets of paper. So I like to look at meridian points for the meridian point that actually blends together. So the first meridian point that shows me is your governing meridian up at the very top. So I'm going to pull in the governing meridian, and when you see how this really works, you're just going to be loving it. But there is a balance meridian. It's the meridian that goes with the governing meridian, and it's called the, let's see which one, governing, the triple warmer. Let's see where the triple warmer is. And see, the triple warmer is, it's not in a green, it's in green, it's not in red or blue, but because it works with the governing meridian, I'm going to pull it in as well. And then the Circadian meridian, wait, it was supposed to be conception this? No, conception. Okay, and then the Circadian meridian is triple warmer heater, that's right. Okay, that's right, I did that. So I'm going to plug those in down here. And then the corresponding meridian with the liver is the gallbladder, and that's perfect because they were both in the blue. So if I wanted to do expand on these meridian points, I just want to kind of show everyone what happens. If I click on the governing meridian, I actually can do an acupuncture treatment on these meridian points. So if you see here, all the items that are in the red and all the items that are in the blue, I could literally pull those in if we were working just specific to a client. But right now, we really want to focus on the Fatmeltaway frequencies program, but I'm, again, just showing you the dynamics of how this really works. It's just absolutely fascinating. So we've got that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm somewhat with you. I'm a little bit with you. The meridians, I didn't know had names, but that's really cool.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, so if you've ever studied anything in the field of Chinese medicine and acupuncture, that's exactly what those are. The meridian points are what the acupuncturist would look into. So just go back, I'll just show you.
Which is funny, because I go into for acupuncture 1 or 2 times a week.
Okay, so if you look, the liver meridian number 8. Let's see, where's number 8? So it's right here. That is the place that if he or she, the practitioner, would be putting the needle in.
And she does.
Yeah.
And you see the foot one?
Yeah.
She uses every single of that because
Yeah.
my toes have really been bothering me.
Well,
So-
and see what is, again, this is your session. This is the energy work that's coming from you. And isn't that fascinating that those are the reds that came up for you?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I'm telling you, when you get into and you see how the genius just picks up on where your energy fields are, it's just incredible. All right, so the next thing that, and again, if we were doing you personally, where we weren't focused on like how the group is going to work, I would go into those meridian points and hit those really quickly so that you would have relief and just you would have an acupuncture session. So you remember Susan, who was on our program last night, she used to go to the acupuncturist every week. Since she's bought her own genius and has been doing the energy work, she doesn't go but once a month. Because she takes
right, and that's what I'm working up to. That's what I'm working up to. So
she does her own acupuncture every week through the genius.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. So fascinating. Okay, so the next place I'm going to go to before I get to my libraries, I'm going to look at some solfeggio tones, and I will, during our educational time, go through what these actually are. But there's one that's in the blue, so it's the perfecting note of completing the circle. And then really the other one I'd love to pull in is 528, and that is the transformation of miracles. I believe that should be in every library, anytime we ever do, because we always want the transformation of miracles. But for you right now, that's all that's showing. And then I take a look next at nos years, and we have L, and again, I'll go through the detail of what these actually mean in some of the chat, right?
Really, I'm picking up some of what you're saying through having been familiar with Dr. Dispenza.
Right, okay. And so the next area that I actually take a look at, I always love to add in healing Bach flower essences. So, and again, if you know anything about Bach flower and how those essences were created, it's just incredible. And again, I'm going to do a quick drag of the reds and the blues. And looks like you have sweet chestnut, serrato, elm, honeysuckle, cherry plum, and vine, and then century and chestnut bud. You'll see all of these that actually come up in the end, but I'm just going to go through what we actually go through. Okay, and it was interesting, Bach flowers was in the red, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab that as a big essence. And then your brain EEG and brain anatomy. And I want to open those up as well and see what is going on. So
This is fascinating.
we want to do.
It might be dementia.
We're going to go ahead and drag the brainstem and put the brainstem in. All right, let's go to the EEG. All right, so we have some high alpha. That's really a low disturbance for you. So we're going to go ahead and put that one in, and that's the only one that needs to be in. And before I leave mind, I want to just get those neurotransmitters, because neurotransmitters are very important for the leptin and ghrelin balances. So we know we're going to be going there. So I wanted to go ahead and grab those. Okay, and before I head off into, well, we have herbs that is a disturbance. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the red and the blue. And lion's mane, interestingly enough, but actually for this purpose, I just want to share with everyone, all of these are all relationship orientation to fat loss. And the blues, angelica. I'm going to put some holy basil in there as well. Anytime I see something that corresponds to what we're working on, oops, I didn't mean to hit that. I'm going to pull it in because I know that it's important for what our purpose is. Okay, so we have, let's see where chemical sensitivities are. Let's go
Maybe
ahead.
you should pull in serotonin so I go to sleep.
It'll come up in the panels when we look at it. Just trust me on that. I want to look at what's happening in today's stress for you. So today's stress looks like the biggest stressors are liver, emotional, and we're going to plug those adrenals in because I know that that's important. If I find anything that's above 600 and I know that it's important to you and or to the group, I would pull that in.
Okay.
Anything that was below 200, I would pull in. Take a look at the lowest one for you is blood sugar.
Yes, because I haven't eaten yet.
Okay, interesting. All right. So I'm going to plug in that lymphatic as well. Okay. So let's take a look at those hormones that we know that we need to pull in. Oh, look at that. We're going to pull in the follicle stimulating hormone, melatonin, cortisol, and I'm going to put those reds that are there in a group drag. And let's see, in the blue, we've got, oh, we need ghrelin. This is the biggest piece of weight loss right here. And let's go ahead and put that one in. All right, so let's take a look at our organs and gland. Let's do glands first. All right, parathyroid, pineal gland. I'm going to throw that hypothalamus in as well because it works with that parathyroid. And organs. Let's see where we got going on. We've got the bladder that corresponds to what we saw in your meridians. I think that spleen is high enough that we're going to pull that in as well as the liver.
Debbie, you're probably seeing with, we're concentrating on the Fatmeltaway capsule, but what this can possibly do to help you balance out your body for migraines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Debbie, very similarly, I'd be pulling in some of the same patterns, and I'll do you separately after we finish this up and, kind of get through the whole process. So the last part that I look at, Barbara, is the spinal energy of what's going on. And each one of these, again, I would tell you the description, but I pulled in the reds and the blues. All right, now we're going to test our libraries. And this is where the fun is for the group work that we're going to be doing. But it's also very interesting because this is really tailored to you and not the whole group. So it'll be interesting.
So those that don't participate by grabbing a capsule will be able to get some benefit just tuning in if they choose.
Yeah, and it looks like even if it looks like we can do this, if we can't figure out how we can go live on the Facebook page live, they're going to benefit because they're just going to watch the video. But really, their biggest benefit is to get in the group, to be a part of. And if we have more than 10 people who show up, I've told you, I already bought a whole bunch more capsules. So I have more. I mean, I would rather have, The Power of 8 is a book that I'm reading, and it's really an important understanding of what group energy work is and is all about. And if we can focus within the Power of 8, and I know we have more than 8 people with just the people you have and I have, but it'll just be phenomenal group work. And the more we have focusing on an intention like this, it's so much more powerful. So for you specifically, what comes up as very, very high, and I look at 777 is let's see, I'm trying to get, oh, right here. I'll get my pointer. So right here, 777, if I see anything that's a 777, I immediately look in, we immediately put that into the panel. And then I will open it up and take a look at what's happening in there. But this is wonderful. This is what it's showing is, okay, an energy disturbance in depression energetic solutions. And so it's really telling me that the biggest things that you need are St. John's wort, B complex vitamins, lithium, orate, and 5-HTP tryptophan, and then fermented foods and doing deep breathing exercises. The fact that you have a 121 exercise 60 minutes per day, and it's showing that it's a slight disturbance. Again, if it's under 200, I look at it, but I know that you exercise more than 60 minutes every day.
Not right now with my toes.
Oh, okay, then I'm going to put that in.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm not going to go into all of these because unless it was 777, that's the highest it can go. But I always look at the very lowest disturbance. So there's a global detox that's showing for you on a number 1. And you have a number 2 that I want to look at so you can see what it is, because it's an animal healing canine assessment. And I know you have the new puppy, so we're going to look at it. All right, so I'm going to put these right frequencies that show up and grab these yellows, because I think these are very important for you specifically. I mean, why not get the benefit of what we're doing for you specifically today? Okay, let's see what the animal. All right, so I don't know if this makes sense to you. You know yourself. I mean, you know what's going on with the puppies, but I'm taking these because you have those puppies and they're important. I want to make sure that we get those in there. All right, and I see mitochondrial. Take a look at this, the next one, mitochondrial rejuvenation and ADD, ADHD.
Yeah.
Is that just not fit you or what?
Yep.
I'm telling you, this is
To
just
the T. That's just crazy.
yeah. So we're going to go ahead and take these areas, the serotonin, ear development issues I'm putting in. You have frontal lobe, Wernicke's area, vestibular system. I'm just going to pull all of those blue ones in. Okay. And let's see the mitochondria. Okay, red and blue. All right. Now, those are really specific to you. And if I were running a client, I could do root cause. If we were working on something, I actually have in here what we call root cause. What is the root cause of this situation? Which is fascinating because this is really pertaining to you. So enzyme deficiency, blood circulation, bladder growth, all of these are related to what's going on with you, but we're not going to do that because now I want to show you the beautiful library that we have set up for Fatmeltaway series. And this is what everyone is going to get to have. This is what will come up as far as the energy work for us. For the first one I look at is a leptin reset. And take a look, Barb, it's leptin reset for you is in the blue. So I'm not only going to put that big one in, but I'm going to open it up and see what we have. So I'm going to plug in the reds and the blues, because again, that's where the energy disturbances are. So we have pancreatic B cells, release adrenaline receptors, optimize fat cell-to-cell communication. I think I'm going to add in the 660 because that's a pretty high number. And that's release excess fat storage quickly and easy. Oops. And then restore proper leptin levels, because we're doing leptin reset. So you want to restore, you know, leptin is a big response mechanism to fat loss. I mean,
Right.
Your body tells you you are full, and this is what you had asked about, right? You asked that in your intention is 1 serving. Right? You want
Right.
to do 1 serving. And so leptin tells us when we're full. And so you want to have that as a reset. Okay. So, and then your epinephrine levels, and then look, improves sugar regulation and support lean muscle. Brain now actually perceives leptin levels. Very important. And even though it's a 155, I'm pulling in clear insulin resistance. And I'll also pull in optimized blood sugar. All right, so that's that's the first panel. Then the second panel is ghrelin balance. And the ghrelin balance tells us not only when we're full, hang on a second, I'm gonna just get to my page that what it helps me help others.
As you've gotten more and more into this, this is really interesting because we personally understand what our issues are.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to be pulling out what we know our issues are, it's, wow.
This is what I'm saying, Barb. This is mind blowing because when you see this and its relationship to you, that's the beautiful thing of what this energy work is all about.
And I will add, for Debbie's sake and for anyone else who watches this live, Laura and I are very close as far as understanding our behaviors. And that's a plus for her to help me with this. But for me to personally see that it picks up my energy and the issues that are bothering me.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. And so what's really important, optimize. So you see, optimize your circadian rhythm. Mm-hmm. Increase sensitivity, optimize gastric motility, but I like getting sleepy in order to optimize sleep time at night. So I put that in. And I'm going to see what we have in the blue. Oh, these are all so beautiful for you. And again, as a group work, it'll come up, all the panels will change. It'll come up for what the group specifically needs for the higher self. So it's so beautiful.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to optimize that and deep sleep, restorative sleep. Okay. So now
we have to have a puppy that sleeps through the night first.
That will be helpful, right? So hormones and hormone disruptors. It's in the yellow. Let's see what pulls up. So it looks like we have some mercury exposure, estradiol levels optimized. So I'm going to pull in all those reds. And let's see what the blue is. Vitamin C, methylfolate. I'm going to pull in the testosterone and progesterone.
Yes, I have no hormones.
I know, liposomal glutamate, estrogen levels optimized. And even though your vitamin E is just on that cusp, I'm pulling it in because you need to have a good, strong vitamin E. Okay. All right, so our emotional unlock codes. This is really, I love that we have emotions in our code, what we're looking at within our panels. And so in the emotional unlock codes, thyroid, we want to release feelings of lack of trust. Heart, release past effects of cruelty. Embrace new experiences. Back, release feelings of not being supported. Breast, embrace self-nourishing energy and self-love. And I'm going to pull in self-acceptance. Let's see where the blue is. Wrists, embrace the ability to have ease in life. Heart, release past disappointment. Genitals, releasing shame. Heart, releasing feelings of grief. Well, we definitely want to have all those blue ones. Hips, release the fear of moving forward. That we definitely want to have.
Wow.
Diaphragm, release feelings of unprotected. Shoulders, release carrying responsibilities of others. And bladder, release the feelings of letting go. And again, a lot of these emotions relate back to those meridian and Chinese points that we looked at as well. So I just want to make sure that you see that it's all connected. It's energetically connected. All right, so now we're going to go down the digestive fire and microbiome. So we will need some apple cider vinegar, zinc, some lactose bulgarius, HMF intensive, and then let's see where we are. Ooh, we've got some great ones in the blue. Black walnut is essential for weight loss. I'm going to go ahead and add all these blues in. And let's see soil-based, and I'm going to put some peppermint in there as well. All right, and then 6 affirmations. Let's see. I love exercise and enjoy moving my body. I accept myself today at 100%. I allow myself to be vulnerable. I am now taking all actions, conscious and subconscious, to nourish myself in a healthy way. I'm ready to participate in my life and manifest a body that is healthy and comfortable for me. I am comfortable with releasing unhealthy foods in my life. I think we want to have that. Let's see what's in the blue. I am ready to release weight. I am now able to achieve my goals for optimal weight. I'm now ready on every level to be healthy. I'm going to add that one in. Grab it. There we go. I am embracing allowing fitness in my life. I think we need to do that. And healthy food. Okay. Those are the affirmations that came out strong for you. Okay, so now the other panels that I could go to, which I will in another session, would be weight loss. But if you see, my main tray is very full. And what we want to do now is capture, of these 177 items that came up specifically for you, is optimize the highest priority. And the highest priority are the frequencies that you're going to actually get to listen to. And so in order to do that, I click on that button and I begin analysis. And so now what it's done is prioritized from the highest to the lowest of what's important for you for this session at the moment in time that we were working. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the high, and I'll just kind of run through them all. Releasing adrenaline receptors, spleen QI balance, estradiol levels optimized, peppermint, no GRL. Even though peppermint, if you remember, was it was like in the 191, it was still one of those things that was important for you when you combine all of these things together. Your liver meridian, follicle stimulating hormone, elm, apple cider vinegar. You can just see all of them. Fatmeltaway, leptin reset completely came up high. I love all of them. And these are all related to you. All right, so what I'm going to do, see this button up here and it says share? That's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to put in your email, and it's SYNCORSWIM at
AOL.com.
I almost had it committed to memory. SYNCORSWIM at AOL.com. Okay, so in just a few seconds, while we're sitting here, you're going to get an email. And while we're waiting for you to get an email, I'm going to go ahead and hit play so that this can start to do some harmonic balancing. Okay, it's already there?
Not yet.
Yeah, it just showed up on me, and it's from Insight. It'll be Insight Quanta.
Oh, it'll show up on my Quanta?
It'll show as an email under Insight. It'll be a message from Insight.
Okay. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, and open it up, and there'll be a code that you'll copy.
Okay.
So copy that code.
Okay.
And you're going to open up your Insight Quanta Cap app.
Okay.
And once you open it, you'll click on that menu bar and it'll say import Quanta code. It's the second one on the top. Click on it and then paste that code.
I did.
Okay. And then click OK.
Okay.
Go to your playlist.
Do I want to add all items to tray or?
And so what I would do, see, when you see that playlist, because you have 3 playlists there, there's a little pencil. I would go ahead and identify what that was.
So
Just say Fatmeltaway, and today's date is already on it. So I would just say.
it just has the date. That's all. It doesn't say anything else.
Yeah, I would click on the pencil and then name it the way that you want to name it. Session with Laura, FM, Fatmeltaway, session with Laura, today's date, whatever you want to, however you want to call it.
Okay.
Okay.
That
And
way I
then-
understand what it is. Now I say
And then,
load.
and then click load if it hasn't loaded already.
Okay.
And then go back and now you hit add all items to tray.
Okay.
And then at the bottom, remember I showed you that you could click on that arrow?
Right. So I can either do like 5 minutes all the way up to 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I would strongly recommend clients to listen 15 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes in the evening.
Okay.
And so the next step that I would do, actually, Barb, is I would play this progressive insights, which I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put that, I'm going to let it continue to play. But you see this little button up here, rescan? Once I have it and I look for rectification down here, I look for rectification that has to be 50% or higher. I personally do. And then I'll hit the rescan and I'll get the next high level and do the same thing. And once I get that rectification that says, oh, it was really good, worked out perfectly, I'll hit rescan again and finish your session up. But I want this to run for 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share so I can talk with you all.
Okay.
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 I'm just going to put this off to the side so it does its business. Okay. All right. All right. So now let me answer any questions that you have because we can go ahead and close I'll stop recording so we can stop hearing the noise.
So I know, you started this several months ago and tried to pull me into it while I was going through my mess in Texas, which is all my moving and everything, Debbie. But
Yeah.
so I wasn't really ready to pay attention. So yeah, I've got some learning to do in the process of this, but I'm really impressed with the ability to pick it up through, and through the computer. But when I did Tony Robbins, was that 2 years ago that I did the health?
Yeah.
When they talked about how in the future we're going to be able to do these type of things, it's happening. It's pretty amazing.
It really is. It really is. I know I hit stop. Hang on. Let me do one other thing I have to do. I need to get the sound off of my computer.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
I know. I can though. And I got to stop sharing.
Okay.
Okay.
So Debbie,
It's
I know
still
this was
important.
personalized more
do.
towards me as a demonstration, but do you have any questions that would benefit a group that was listening to this?
What I'm going to recommend is one thing I'd like. Oh, wait. Screen sharing. Stop sharing. Hopefully, maybe that'll work. It didn't. So what I'm going to recommend is let's all hop back on using the same link. I'm going to stop the recording so we can answer questions as people have. But I just want to leave people with this. Now that you've seen an example session, immediately contact me with a message so that you can get your capsule. You want to have the capsule so that you can play these frequencies every single day for the next 7 days. And so, right? So the frequencies last 7 days, and our first session we're going to do next Wednesday. right? We're going to do every single Wednesday. And I think I said 1:30 is our time frame, Central Standard Time. So I need
Right, so
you
that
all
would
to get-
be
3:30.
1:30 Central Standard Time would be 12:30 Mountain and 11:30 Pacific and Arizona time.
Mhm.
Eastern time, it would be 2:30.
Yeah. So, and I just want to make sure everyone understands, I'm gifting this because I know for the work that I've done since January, how important this is. This is all a huge, super big gift. And I just want to make it perfectly clear that this is an opportunity for everyone to really benefit from something that's uber magical, so magical. And, you know, it's how quickly, you know, for this purpose, because it's a Fatmeltaway series, how quickly do you want to achieve your goals? You know, and if we have people who are all, let's say we have 20 people who do it, 10 who don't use the codes, 10 who do use the codes and use the, you know, have a quantum capsule and actually use them, it could be a great study.
Yeah.
But then something else occurred to me, Debbie, is I want to do a special session for you specifically, and I want 7 volunteers, because what I want to do is focus on the power of 8. So we'll have myself and 7 other volunteers focusing specifically just for you in healing your migraines.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Debbie,
The power of
yeah.
that, Debbie, will be infinite. Just like
so anyone that you know that has the same issues as you that could benefit from this, reach out to them.
So Barb, I'm going to go ahead and hit stop recording.
Okay.